Hey YouTube, what is up? How is everybody doing today? We are going to be jumping into Signs of the Swarm with a song called Final Phase, featuring the one and only Dickie Allen. I am here today with Miss Marty Morris.
Hello, thank you for having me today.
No worries at all. Thank you so much for featuring me on your channel too, man.
Oh, it's my pleasure, my pleasure.
Have you heard Signs of the Swarm before?
I don't think so. I've heard the name. I may have heard one song from them, but definitely not this song, if I've heard anything.
Oh, okay. This is from CJ's era. Because they've had two or three different vocalists, I believe. And like CJ was one of the original, or something like that anyway, but still.
Okay.
But yeah, man, let's
I'm
get...
actually looking forward. So this is going to have CJ and Dickie Allen?
Yep, it's going to have both of them. Which means it's most likely going to be insane. It's going to be insane. But yeah, man, I think we should get into it. We should see. And yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Boy, that started.
Is this Dickie?
I think it's CJ actually.
Really?
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to tell, man. They're both brutal as Hausa. But we'll see.
Ooh, this rough guitar.
I know. But this is Signs of the Swarm, man. This is their style. I love it so much. Oh, I love those drums, man. Those drums are sexy as hell.
Their imagery.
Oh man, that lowness is craziness.
Good sound.
Oh, those highs, man, those highs are everything. That is so sick, man. Oh. Wait a minute, I think we're going to pause it right here, to be fair. Let's give it a pause on before we go back into it. And then... What did you think so far? Like, how did the song...
Okay, first of all, it started out heavy. There's this certain sound that he makes. I'm not going to try to copy it, but there's this certain sound that he makes that's very chilling to my soul.
Yeah. I think that's all of his vocals, to be fair with you, but
Yeah, probably. That's true. There's something very creepy about this, the way they make the animations move, you can't see what I'm doing right now, but it's like this weird slow motion dangling type of thing. I don't know why that is so creepy to me.
Is it like it's like hanging from a noose almost? You know, the way that's coming in, it's almost like it's like being hung. So it's like it's that sense.
That is what it's like.
Makes total sense.
That's very creepy. So what do you think? What do you think so far?
I think it's pretty awesome. I think like the brutality is everything, but even when they're going, you know, stupidly low with their vocals, you can still understand what they're growling, which is impressive. Because like I'm still in my first or second year of learning to growl right now, And every time that I hear somebody go that low, while still being able to pronounce every word perfectly, it's just like craziness to me. Because I know once you go that low, most of your enunciation goes out of the window, so.
Yeah, and since you do vocals, that would be something you pick up on really easily that I might not realize as someone who doesn't do vocals. So that's pretty interesting.
Like, I'm not a good vocalist, but I'm getting there. I'm slowly learning. It's a slow process. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, I think we should jump into the lyrics and just see what we think they're about. We should see what they're trying to tell us during this brutality of the finest measures, man, but still. Wipe the earth clean of its remains. Tides of punishment come to sterilize a fucking disgusting place, exterminating the human race. So throughout this album so far, we've had it where aliens or some kind of beings have come to the planet and are trying to exterminate the human race because we're a plague upon the planet. We're destroying it for no reason and to those kinds of degrees. At least from the most part, from what I've heard. Condemned, hopeless bastards lay waste in a bitter creation, cycling an excuse, the filled embarrassment. An egotistic planet suffocates in laziness and corruption. So yeah, just like I said, like the planet itself is suffocating within laziness and within the corruption of government, within the corruption of society, and how people are suffering. People are burning and being tortured, either monetarily or via work they are forced to do in order to survive, in order to have housing they barely ever see, and so on and so on and so on. But yeah, what did you think, like, of the first, like, 2 lines? Like, how would you interpret it?
I pretty much the same way. It sounds like, well, so I tend to think pretty much the same with the lyrics.
Too many years wasted on a hopeless universe, our final phase of defacing the earth to sterilize and start anew. Like, yeah, like, too many years wasted on a hopeless universe. It's like, we look to the stars, whereas our own, like, planet is suffering, it's dying, we're polluting it with every single thing you can imagine, with oil and gases, and just breaking down the atmosphere for no reason. A final phase of defacing the earth, like, yeah, with this final phase, the earth could quite easily kick us off, but it doesn't. It tries to hold and hold and hold and keep us here, but at the same time, we want to leave it so bad, whereas we don't appreciate what we already have. Like, the earth should stabilize and it should start new, in my opinion, because we don't treat it to the best we could. Ashamed, full of regrets, we've got nothing to be proud of. Watch them turn to dust. Like, I think that's humans. I think that's the humans turning to dust, to be fair with you.
Right.
An ancient wrath demolishes everything in its way, making room for the new species to restart and rebuild, burning their families, a plague of cruel disease completely cleansing the useless. Like, the useless being the human race, like, because I guess if we saw aliens from above, or if they saw us, should we say, they wouldn't be proud of who we are. They would see how much we fucked up the planet, and they would see, like, all the devastation and all the things that we could do to help, but we just don't, even to each other. But still, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think the same. I mean, it's you can just imagine how it would look. I mean, we do destroy the planet. We don't do the things we should, and you know, the way we treat each other, the way we treat the land around us, the way we treat the wildlife. I mean, everything could be better, and yet isn't.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, we extinct animals for no reason other than game, for the most part, which is, like, insane to me, but...
Right. And then even, I mean, it even comes down to just the modern way of life. Even the materials we build with, they're not materials that will break down into the earth once we've decided we don't want to use them anymore, or we just let them, you know, fall into ruins. It's not even, you know, it's these things, all these artificial materials that can't even return to the earth naturally. So it's also just constant pollution, constant things that are, you know, polluting the earth. It's insane.
Yeah, it truly is. I totally agree with you. Like, we make plastics and all these kinds of things that take, like, what, like 10,000, 100,000 years to dissolve? Just like, the fuck? How can we ever hope to get away with that? It's craziness, man, but still.
Ooh.
I know it. Ooh. Oh, man. Ooh, that exposing her. Oh, man, we're into gurgly mode, man. My heart is racing to this. I love his highs, man. His highs are gorgeous. But the drums, though, the drums are just forcing this forward. Like, it's like, you can feel the desperation, the power of it all just like going through it.
Yeah.
That switch up.
The eyes.
Ooh. Oh, man. Wow, that solo timing was perfect. That's perfect timing. Oh, man.
Sir.
Wow. Well, that was as insane as I thought it was going to be fair. The person who recommended the song said this is the best song off the album. And I kind of have to agree with them right there, to be fair.
Yeah, that was so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
My heart's beating. I gotta catch my breath.
Oh yeah, my heart's beating faster. Like, throughout the breakdowns, my heart skipped beats, man. It was just like, oh shit. Oh, craziness. Absolute craziness. But that's the thing, man. When you have CJ and Dickie in one song, it's going to be to this level. It has to be. No, because when you have them together, like, I imagine, like, vocalists of, like, this level, like, I consider Dickie to be the godfather of deathcore, because he's the one who influenced the bros and the CJs in order to become who they are. So
that's pretty fascinating. I honestly, normally I try to hear the differences in people's voices, but I could not tell which one was CJ and which one was Dickie. I couldn't even tell.
I think the much lower was generally Dickie, and then CJ was the more verse, like the more breakdown was more Dickie, and then the more verse and the more leading into that was more CJ. Is where it was going, I think. So I think they were just trying to outdo each other in a way, in like a strange way. They were just trying to keep going. They were trying to one up each other in terms of brutality, which is so sick to listen to.
Yeah, I'm glad they did, because it made a very nice experience. Super, super heavy. I love the instruments. There's this certain, I don't know if it's actually guitar or bass, but I think it's guitar. There's this certain heaviness that are in all of Dickie's songs. And it's like his voice and this certain down, 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 like this really jarring sound. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I love everything that Dickie's done, everything I've ever heard him do. Even when he does metalcore and stuff like that, when he's not even going heavy, he just has a certain tone to everything he does, which is just amazing to listen to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man, like, I love Dickie, but I think CJ is still my favourite. Of like all the deathcore vocalists we have now, I think CJ just has to be up there. He's just so good at what he does.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I need to hear more of some things CJ's done. I haven't heard him too many times, but I always like him, so I definitely want to listen to more of things that CJ has done.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like he's totally worth it. From all the songs I've heard, I've never heard a bad CJ song in my life ever. Like,
Me either.
and he's always different. Like if you ever listen to him on proper, like from Signs of the Swarm to Lorna Shore to Immortal Disfigurement, he sounds different. Every single band he has a unique style about him, which is so different for a vocalist. They don't sound the same. Like every single time, he just changes and changes and changes and changes.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I like that.
Me too. But yeah, I think we should finish the lyrics and make sure that all that's sorted, and then yeah. So.
All right. Sounds good.
Blackened skies swallow the earth. The red waves of blood penetrate all of the cities, drowning the foolish creatures. This is not the second coming, but a dark cleansing. That's so cool. I love that, like, that kind of like jab at Christianity. Like, this is not the second coming of Christ, this is just your death.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not something to look forward to.
No. It's something that's about to obliterate all of humanity, not something that's going to make you raise up to heaven or whichever way you want to go about it.
Right.
But yeah, watch them turn to dust. The foolish bastards turned inside out. Oh, that sounds painful. Can you imagine turning inside out? That's crazy.
Ugh.
I know. Dismembered and separated at the torso to burn in their own embers. Like burning inside of yourself. Layers of flesh ripped open right before their eyes. Exposing their insides, untangling and running down their severed limbs, disembowel. Quickly rotting from the inside out. Scabbed and bubbling skin discharging. Disease sent by the plague. Spines violently removed, choking on the chunks of their esophagus. Vomiting intestines, a final phase. Yeah, the final phase is just the complete extinction of humanity, to torture them to the point where they just die, rip them inside out, rip out their spines, and just allow them to burn on their own bodies, to light their fat on fire, just to literally watch them burn forever and ever. It's what I'm assuming anyway, to that kind of degree.
Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep, it's a nice pleasant image about it.
Yeah, very pleasant. Nice way to start the morning.
Yep, for sure, definitely. Then, an entire species turns inside out. A wasteland of mangled bodies to burn for the new world. You start to rebuild temples made out of bone. Ouch, man. How many bones would you need to make a temple, man? That's like millions of people, that has to be. This is their new home.
Well, they'll have it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with like billions of people, easily, they'll be able to build thousands of temples from it. This is their new home. Wipe the earth clean of its remains. Tides of punishment have sterilized a fucking disgusting place. Extermination of the human race. Then a hateful plague has destroyed all of humanity. The new leaders plant new species onto what was once known as the earth, to restart and rebuild on the ashes of our executed families. That's interesting. So like you know how people think in like the pyramids were built by aliens, and that people were basically put onto the planet by aliens in order to survive and that type of stuff. That's kind of where this is going. Where these are just like exterminating us to put a new race onto the planet to see what they do, and if they don't like it, they'll be back. Which is sick to listen to.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, I never expected that. Like, because I've been listening to a bit of the album, not the whole album yet, but just seeing such depth with the lyrics. Like, most deathcore bands have good lyrics, but these lyrics are beyond that. They're just ridiculously good. And detailed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah, ridiculously heavy. But that's just deathcore. Deathcore's always ridiculously heavy. That's why it's why I found it. I only started getting into deathcore last year, I think it was, and then here we are.
Okay, that's interesting. I think that's about the time I started. I don't really know the difference between deathcore and the other. This is all new for me, but I think it's been about a year since I've started listening to this kind of music. So,
oh, that's interesting. I grew up listening to death metal over deathcore. I was never into my metalcore or my deathcore until much later in life, like I said. So, but I've always been into this kind of music, like, you know, just having this just deathcore's that one up to that level. So,
well, it's been a very it's very interesting. It's weird because if you try to tell somebody who doesn't listen to this kind of music, if you try to explain it to them at all, or if they read the lyrics, they're going to be like, what are you listening to? Are you crazy? And I'm like, no, it's actually good though.
Yeah, it is. It's like,
I liked it.
Yeah, it's like whenever people hear what I listen to, for the most part, like, it's like, you know, family members or whatever, they think I'm just insane because I just hear growling and like breakdowns and everything. It's like, holy shit, man, what are you listening to?
Yeah, they don't get it, especially if they hear it and they're just like, that's just a bunch of what are you listening to? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Just
I'm
like,
okay.
yeah, just don't worry about it. Just like ignore the random demons inside of my headphones. It's fine. But yeah, thank you so much for featuring on my channel. It's been a blast, man. It's been awesome, like getting your opinions and stuff, and just, you know, like dragging you into like a new, different style that you're not used to, and just it's been fun.
Well, thank you so much for having me today. I had a blast. It was so fun to get to actually talk with somebody while I watch these songs. Usually it's just me by myself, but this was a nice change. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it very much.
That's awesome. Yeah, the same with me too. I'm used to just like shouting at a microphone at like a blank screen in like a room by myself, so it's been great.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, man, thank you all so much for watching. If you love what we do, man, I have a Patreon. Go check that out. If you like Marty, go check out her channel. She's amazing. She does all kinds of bands, all kinds of genres. Like she said, she's new to the scene a little bit, but help her find some new good stuff, man. Give us some insane level stuff, man. Give us some craziness. But yeah, have a wonderful day,
Yes,
everybody.
please.
And I'll see you guys in the very next video. Take it easy, everyone. Have a wonderful day.